Names are important to engines. It's much more dignifying than a number. It's a feeling to some, a sense of belonging. The steam engines are proud of their names, and so are the diesels. In a faraway land from Sodor, the diesels idled one moonlit night, all talking about their days. Boko was telling the others about his day. So there was this passenger waiting on the platform who decided to light up a cigar while he was waiting and sat down on a bench atop the platform, explained Boko. As you all know, smoking isn't allowed on the platforms anymore, but he was an elderly gentleman, so I'll give it a pass.
Last year that was legal was 1982,
Artie comments.
Oh yes, cigarettes, cigars, puffing all over the place. The station smelled like a wildfire. Now it feels less like that since the law passed,
Bert says. Yes, well, anyway, the station master walks up to the passenger, all snooty, nose held high, younger man, and taps the gentleman on the shoulder and proceeds to say in a sardonic tone, "What are you doing with that cigar in your mouth?" And the old-timer, the old man looks at him and says quickly, "Why? You know another way to smoke it?" Boko, Artie, Bert, and Splatter and Dodge all laughed.
How many times have they changed the name of that station? I mean, why change it at all?
Dodge asked Boko. Who knows? I like my name. Why would I want to change? The station is perfectly fine as Vickerstown, but I hear they might rename it to Northeast BR.
Northeast BR? That sounds stupid,
comments Bert.
I second that,
says Artie. And Dodge and Splatter agreed as well. Actually, Artie and Bert, where did your names come from? Boko asks.
The owner of the ironworks had 2 sons. They were raucous and rambunctious little twins they were, but grew into respectable young men. We were named after them after we were bought,
Artie says proudly. What about you, Dodge? Dodge chuckled.
Oh, it's complicated. I worked at a slate quarry. The manager who bought me was a man who loved automobiles, more specifically American-made cars, and in particular, his favorite were trucks. He had a special arrangement where he bought a Dodge Power Wagon and had it shipped here. He always praised my work ethic and how rugged and reliable I was, so I was renamed Dodge after the truck itself.
All eyes turned to Splatter, but Splatter looked away sheepishly.
How did you get your name, Splatter?
Artie asks.
That's not my name,
Splatter snaps.
Sorry. It's not my name. I don't have a name. Well, why are you called Splatter, then?
Bert asks. Splatter gazed upwards at the stars and sighed.
I worked in a shunting yard, a small private company that manufactured signal boxes and was contracted by BR for maintenance and replacement. My number was 7088, and my driver, who was also the owner's brother, was a good man. He loved driving me so much and gave me the unique colors of purple and gray out of my stock red and yellow. However, as time went on, he went through a messy separation with his wife. After the separation, his behavior changed. He wasn't the fun-loving chap that I knew. He turned to drinking heavily to cope with it, and often showed up 2 sheets to the wind buzzed on whiskey. My performance record deteriorated. Splatter looked down at his buffers, and the other diesels noticed it, but still they were waiting to hear the rest of the story. A lot of my driver's actions infuriated the other workers in the yard, and he was often ridiculed instead of receiving help. One fateful day, I was waiting for my driver to come in, and he was 20 minutes late, stumbled into my cab, starting me and letting me idle. Other workmen in the yard stared and joked as they watched my driver stumble back out of my cab to vomit whatever drinking he had done that morning. As I was idling and my RPMs went up, My brakes weren't set properly, and I began to roll. My driver stumbled up the tracks in front of me and fell over, passing out in the rails. I couldn't stop and called for help. Some of the other workmen began running across the way, sprinting towards me to try and stop me before I hit my driver. But it was too late. He died instantly, even after his loss caused by me or by his own fault because he forgot to set my brakes. The ridicule didn't stop, and the other workers in the yard started calling me Splatter, and it just stuck. Splatter finished his story staring straight ahead at the yards in front of him. The other diesels were silent for a moment. The other diesels then had an idea. Your driver must have loved you very much. It's a shame how the drink poisons the mind. But before your driver became what he became, what was his name? Asked Bert. Sean. Why?
Well, I'd much rather address you as Sean than Splatter. What do you say to that, Sean? Says Boko.
Oh, Sean, that's a fine name, and you deserve it. Splatter is no more, Harry comments. I'll agree to that,
Dodge says to his partner.
What do you think, Sean?
Sean, the newly reformed Splatter, smiled and said, I think it'll do just fine. Takes some getting used to, of course, but thank you, blokes. The diesels just smiled warmly, all nodding in agreement, as the moon began to drift over the sky, slowly turning into morning.